Hello. Today I wanted to share my favorite eyeshadow palette of 2023 with you. I'm gonna start off, and I'm gonna do this in alphabetical order. Just it's easier in my mind to go from one to another. So I'm going to start off with Beauty Bay, and I tried the Beauty Bay Neutral 42 color palette and the Beauty Bay Nude 42 color palette. I'm gonna start by talking about this one, and this is what it looks like. I used every shade in this palette, and I thought it was amazing quality. I did not struggle with a single shade from this palette. I think it is amazing. I love that there's some warm neutrals, some cool neutrals, and just such a mixture that you really can come up with so many looks with this palette. I kind of like bigger palettes for that reason. They're not probably very travel friendly, I would say that's true, but I do think that this is an amazing palette. Next is the Nude palette. This has a lot of different nude shades. I find it has a lot of warm tones. A few of them do strike me as somewhat similar, but I did enjoy the quality. If you are just starting out in makeup and you are looking for some warmer nude shades as well as cool, I think this is a great palette. Its quality was superb. I did not struggle with any shades at all. There is fallout, but I kind of find that with almost every brand of eyeshadow at some point. Next is ColourPop. We have a few. So I'm going to start off with some of their 9 pans, and I chose the Star Wars, The Mandalorian, the Child, and the Mandalorian palettes. I finally tried these in 2023. I think these are just so adorable. I love the color stories. I think the color story, like they just nailed the color story for the Child. It's perfect. I do have I used to watch Star Wars with my dad. I've watched the movies many times, and I've also watched The Mandalorian, so it kind of has a soft spot for me. The Mandalorian, I love this palette. This here is a beautiful dual chrome color that it shifts between like a greenish teal, the yellow. Oh, if it's got a yellow like this, like, yeah, I'm gonna love it. I also love how deep it goes. I think these are just amazing. The quality is stunning. If you're into these colors, I think you couldn't go wrong with them. Next, for 9 pans, I chose two that are newer to me but have been out for a while. So I chose these palettes. These are the ColourPop Feelin' Bubbly and ColourPop by the Rosé. Both of these I traveled with over the holiday season, and I loved that I could create multiple looks rather easily with one set of brushes, and things didn't get muddy and everything was rather easy to apply and worked quite well. This is the Feel and Bubbly Color Story. They are your basic, I guess, maybe not basic. They are more nude, neutral shades, but I do think that this is kind of what I'm reaching for. If I'm traveling, I want something quick, do a fast eye look, quick makeup, and I'm off doing other things. So for me, that is what I grab when I'm traveling. This is a more pinky, warm, pinky, I would say, color story, but I do think it, if I didn't want to wear the new more warm neutrals, I could wear the warm pink shades. Depending on what I packed, I kind of packed things that would go with these kinds of shades, and just that is kind of how I decide what I'm bringing, makeup wise as well as clothing wise, as things that will all work together. Next, I chose the Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas palette. I grabbed this the end of last year, or yeah, I think it was either the beginning of end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. I found this still available on ColourPop, and I had to grab it. This is one of my favorite Christmas slash Halloween movies, and this is just so beautiful. This won't be the only The Nightmare Before Christmas collection mentioned today. But I really love this color story. I think this is so cute. I will be honest, I see this more as a Halloween palette, but you could do a nice neutral look that would work for a gathering in the Christmas holiday as well. But this had to be mentioned. I thought it was beautiful and the quality was stunning. Last but not least, from ColourPop, I tried the Bare Necessities and the Stone Cold Fox palettes, and I used all of the shades. Some of these I've been using for quite a while, but I had not gone through and used every shade, and I like to do that before I say a review on something or put it in a favorites. So I'll start with Stone Cold Fox. I know this is an older release palette from ColourPop, but I do think it is a superb color story. If you're just getting into makeup, I think this would be a perfect palette. It has some grays, silvers, browns, warmer, I guess maybe neutral browns, some rosy shades, some mauve shades, or mauve. I say mauve. Yeah, this I think is a great palette. I did not struggle with any of the shades. There was fallout, but I find that with almost every brand, especially their darker shades. So I don't mind that part. Next is Bare Necessities, also an older release, but one I've been using for a long time, but I had not used all of the shades. Now, I do not love Spree very much. Me and Spree don't get along, but if I take that out of the equation, I love this palette and can create looks without that shade. I love that this, you could go down like that, you could go across. There's many different looks you can do. You can make deeper, grungier looks. warmer toned looks, or just some more neutral nude looks. I think if you're starting out this with a makeup, or in just starting a makeup collection, I think this would be a beautiful palette to add to your collection or to start into makeup with. And overall, I didn't find it hard to use. Now I am going to move on to talk about Melt Cosmetics. I chose the Melt Cosmetics Brunette palette. I loved the looks I created with it. Now it is another neutral palette, but I think this is a stunning palette. It worked really well. I did not struggle to blend anything. This shade here, Stout, is such a beautiful shade to play with. And Bourbon is just such a warm, stunning shade. I think this is one I feel was really beautiful on and easy to work with. I did get it on a sale, but I do think it is worth that sale price for sure. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it is beautiful. Now I had to talk about the Melt Cosmetics Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas collections. They had a Christmas Town collection and a Halloween Town collection, both of which had an eyeshadow palette. I chose these this year. I think they were stunning. I'm actually wearing some of both palettes on my eyes today. I wanted to use any of the things that I've mentioned that were favorites in a look if I was gonna talk about my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I just thought that would be fun and fitting as well. So this is what both palettes look like. This is the Christmas Town palette. And this is the Halloween Town palette. I think both of these together make such an interesting color story, and it is truly so fitting for the movie itself. You know, you have your greens and reds, purples, white, you have your more Halloween oranges, yellows, teals, and purples on this side, and I think the two can merge together quite well. Today I'm using this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade, as well as some of the other pieces from the collection as well. I thought these were beautiful. Some of the shimmers are a topper type of deal and more harder pressed. They don't swatch very well at all, but on the eyes they perform beautifully. They also do leave fallout, but with the depth of these shades, it is slightly to be expected. I just would do my eyes first and then finish off my face after. So these had to be mentioned in my favorites this year. That is what the back looks like. They really paid such close attention to detail that this couldn't be not talked about after using them for me anyways. Now I'm gonna talk about NYX. So I had to mention the Barbie, the movie, NYX Professional Makeup collection. I think this is the Turn Up the Ken-ergy, and it's a Barbie party palettes. These were easy to use. I didn't struggle to get them to show up. The packaging, it does have a bit of a drugstore feel to it when I compare it to some of the other things in my collection. That being said, it fits in so well if you were playing with Barbies in the 80s, 70s, 80s. I was 80s, 90s-ish, but this is the Turn Up the Ken-ergy palette. I created a few different looks with these, and I think they were just cute. They are still available, I believe, at least on the Canadian NYX site. I will say and this is it's a Barbie party palette, and that is what that looks like. I do think that they added some neutrals here, and I really actually enjoy that because I can make a look that is a little more day-to-day wearable. If I'm going somewhere, I feel that I shouldn't be wearing maybe pink or purple or bright colored eyeshadow, that this still had some neutrals in it. Like I said, the packaging is very reminiscent of a Barbie toy, and that kind of is the nostalgia of the collection. So for me, quality-wise, they were superb. The packaging, not the greatest packaging. It hasn't broken, and I've had it for a bit, but I also haven't traveled with it or anything like that. But yeah, that is one of my favorites from NYX, and I think they did try very hard to make a fun collection based on the movie. Now I chose the NYX Ultimate Paradise Shock Shadow Palette. This I was unsure of at first if I was going to like it, but I really do. And I created a few different looks that were just so beautiful. It was perfect for like right at the end of summer, right into the fall time. This is more of a shifty shade here. Now this one here, I had to use glitter glue to really get it to show up. I don't mind doing that, but I am gonna let you know about that. I didn't find anything else was a struggle to work with. This one here, I did use glitter glue, mostly just to get it to be more noticeable and a little less subtle than it was, but you could use it without. But yeah, I thought this was a beautiful, fun, great palette, nice quality. And next and last is the Physicians Formula. Next, this is the last palette that I have chosen. I do have a few others that I really enjoyed this year, but they were not new to me per se. And some of them were drugstore, and I might just do a blog post on those. But I chose the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It eyeshadow, Muro Butter eyeshadow in Bronzed Nudes. This is a beautiful palette. I feel like it's easy to travel with. I think because of the cardboard, I think it would travel well and not be everywhere, hopefully. It has two mattes, And for shimmers, this here is a beautiful shifty shade, and I just feel like this was perfect for summer. It's also one I think would be perfect, like I said, to travel with. I think a few of these, if I am traveling, I would grab them and be out the door. And that's kind of what I like. I also like where it's a few shades of mattes, and then I pop on whatever shimmer I feel like, and I'm out. That's kind of how I am, if I wear makeup at all. But I thought this was pretty. The quality is great, and I think it was something worth talking about. So that rounds up all of my favorite eyeshadows from 2023. Let me know what your favorite eyeshadow you tried in 2023 was, or even one maybe you've just discovered recently. I am all ears. I love eyeshadow. It's my favorite part of doing my makeup is the eyeshadow and just getting the whole look to come together. But yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed watching. I thank you so much for doing so. Consider subscribing if you would like to. No pressure, you don't have to. And click the bell notification if you want to be notified when I upload a new video. If you would like, you don't have to also. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. I thank you so much again for watching. Okay. Bye.